Confused about what markets to include in your Neds Same Game Multi? Or is the game about to kick off? With Neds' popular Same Game Multi, see what bets are trending with like-minded punters and simply add it straight to your bet slip within the app. Think it needs more? You can customize or add more legs for bigger odds quickly and easily within the Neds app, so you can take it to the Neds level. Take it to the Neds level. Download the Neds app now and look out for the popular Same Game Multi tab. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This episode is also brought to you by our friends at RIXX. RIXX is an Australian lifestyle brand founded with a mission to transform the eyewear industry by creating carefully crafted eyewear that inspires confidence. Everybody should be able to enjoy a touch of luxury and the confidence it brings. See the world differently today. Head online now at rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get into the show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aces Premiership Countdown, all brought to you thanks to Ausmerican Aces. Every Thursday night at 7:30pm, we're coming to you, and luckily for you, it's not just me sitting here rambling on. We've got two of the best in the business, or maybe one of the best in the business, and Tommy Sheridan, of course, but Coach Michael Barlow, ex-superstar player in your own right.
That's right, and coaching now, where Tommy told me to bring the hat in, so I wanted to really look like a coach and support sponsors that'll have to get on board now. Get out to Aaron's Outdoors and obviously buy some outdoor equipment.
And
great to be here.
Luckily,
thanks for being here, Mick.
You've buried the lead, top of the ladder.
Yeah, we've played one extra game though.
Oh.
And
No. Leave that out.
On the top.
Outside of when we talk about hypotheticals and connotations in the AFL, what we're going to talk about a lot, in my own situation, 1 week at a time. Stay in the moment. And every opponent we play coming up, we respect them fully.
Love it. Well, full credit to the boys as well.
Exactly.
Like, you can't do it alone. But we're going to get plenty out of Coach Barlow, one of the greatest minds in the game. And before we lose him to the AFL, and probably one of these plush other radio gigs that he's got rolling, which I'm sure at some point he'll tell us about. But we've got a special guest coming up as well. Any guesses?
No, we'll keep it a secret for the
Give us a clue, Tom.
Finds a lot of footy. Kicks goals. Plays in a team that's in the finals.
He's got no problems in the world then.
Not in the top four, though. That's my last hint. So they
not in the top four. Okay, so you've given him a bit of a swipe on the way out. Yeah, but anyway.
Keep him grounded. But it's good to be here, boys. This show I've been brewing all year. We wanted to do it the last 8 weeks. The Premiership Countdown.
Must have some trouble getting sponsors if it's been brewing all year. We're at round 21.
Big shout out to Aaron's Outdoors.
We've actually got we've got other sponsors. Big shout out to Neds and RIXX Eyewear. But obviously we've got a third now with Mick. We'll have to chat to that off air, that one. But it is. This is the closest season I've ever seen. Not a part of.
Unbelievable.
Ever seen. There's going to be finals every single week. It does feel a little bit like NFL. I know we love the American sport, but the last round of AFL will be a final. There'll be a final, and it might even be the second last round as well. And that's why the Aces Premiership Countdown. We're gonna do the countdown all the way to the flag, but we're also going to suss out who's going to be in the top 8 and get coach's opinion on a few things.
Well, I hope we're going to suss that out.
Yeah.
It's a big part.
And get some special, our special guest will be hopefully current and a few past legends that can give us some more insights. So pretty excited.
And whoever will come on for free.
That's the thing. Hopefully some of the Werribee boys. We start dipping into that well.
They're going well. They might have to join us soon, the boys. They're good at everything, apparently.
But before we just wrap up round 21 and how that all rolled out, it's dangerous coming to the finals because the team that makes the bottom 4, or the 4 teams that make the bottom 4, are arguably going to be in elite form. In that fight to be able to get in there. You're talking the Swans, the Giants, Geelong, all going to be rolling coming into that. So this could be another Bulldogs era year, or maybe a sneak preview at the guests we have later. This could be a Bulldogs where we get one out of the 4.
My mind is thinking, right? I'm just thinking.
Okay, well, just give us a couple of minutes.
Yeah, 2022, last year's grand final was Geelong-Sydney, right? So I think your point is well made. Geelong were finishing in the top 4 or maybe top of the ladder. But Sydney came from 7th.
Yeah.
The year before 2021, the Doggies in the hub year came from 6th or 7th and made the grand final. So both sides that came in hot end up getting through to the grand final with that momentum, but really fall out when grand final day comes. So you're right. I think if you make the top 8, you're a good side.
Yeah.
Right. So people can say they're in form, all that. But if you're in the top 8, you're a really, really good side. You've either done your work early or you're in form late.
Yeah, no one's making up the numbers. But round 21, we speak of the Bulldogs, a very good win, a Bontempelli masterclass Brownlow.
30 and 3. 32 and 3. At some stage, I was contemplating Andrew McQualter doing a great job, right? He's putting himself right in the mix. But at some stage, maybe put someone on Marcus Bontempelli just to cool. The Tigers don't tag. But I think if you're going to tag anyone or put some work
it's
in,
the best player.
Just put someone next to Bontempelli and make him earn one of those possessions. And
when he goes forward, put a key position on him almost. They had a few, smaller types. I think he kicked 2 in succession.
So Tigers done for the year? They're still mathematically.
Well, we'll talk about that soon, won't we? But yeah, I mean, we can talk about it now. What do you think?
No, I think they're in strife. I think they had that patch early in the year which put them too far behind the 8 ball, and now they don't have a huge amount of availability. A few of their big boys out. Tomlin's been out pretty much all year.
They've had a heap of injuries. So,
what about one of my almost favourite results of the round? Essendon by 1 point to the West Coast Eagles, who I said in the group chat, I said to everyone, Essendon need the percentage here. They're sitting around 94, 95 percentage. They need the percentage. They're going to smack them by 100 points.
It's always
swore by it.
A risky operation when players would hear that. Yeah, they would hear, again, I'm kind of putting that cynical coaching inside the four wall stuff into the program here, which no one loves. But it is very much fact. The Bombers, everyone's saying, oh, great. I was listening to a show, one of the pre-game shows leading into that, and they're like, well, they've got Essendon, they've got West Coast, they've got North, and they'll need a smack in some percentage. As soon as you hear that, you say this is going to end one way, and they may get rolled, and very nearly did. Escaped, and West Coast probably still escaped with the number 1 draft pick.
I was thinking that. Imagine West Coast won, then didn't get the pick.
I think for
they copped a bit. West Coast, for some reason, out of all the games this year, our good friends at Footy Classified gave a bit of a whack saying they might be tanking.
Well, that was because
that was a tanking.
Put one behind the ball in that last 60 to 90 seconds or whatever it was. I've got an out for them, West Coast. All right, as a coach, again, I'm throwing you that. I've got the hat on.
Got the hat on.
So why they didn't put a man behind the ball was because they haven't trained it, because they haven't been close all year. So they haven't.
Yeah, they mentioned that at one point in the commentary. They was like, this situation would not have been practiced all year.
All they've been trying to work on is probably the fundamentals and upskilling, just scaffolding their game plan. So eventually they get to a point where, hang on, we're going to have to save this game, and no one knew really what to do. At the end of the day, centre square bounce, Essendon go forward, put them under pressure, score anyway.
Yeah, Langford kicks his 5th, I think it was. But, you wouldn't have wanted to lose that if you're an Essendon fan. Hey? Which my family are, and I was going. And then some messages in the group chat, then they all turned, oh, geez, we got away with that one.
Everyone knows a dodgy Essendon supporter as well, man. My fingers would have been going absolutely nuts. I would have been texting so hard. Group chats I haven't messaged in a year.
I went the early crow to a couple of mates, a couple of Bomber mates.
It does hurt the early crow. Then we had, talking of crows,
hey, there we go.
Talking of crows, Adelaide getting it done against Gold Coast Suns. The Suns actually played pretty good footy after quarter time. I think they conceded 30 points by quarter time, and they ended up losing by 28.
SOS train. SOS.
Yeah.
Same old Suns.
Same old Suns.
When it's there to be won, they didn't come, and then honourable in the end, going down by 28 points. They got pretty close in the third and fourth quarter, but same old. They're the problems that probably ended Stewie's tenure, that inability to be
and
in the
haven't
game
finished on the ladder. I think that they've never finished above 14th. They're currently sitting 14th. They've been in the system for 10 or 11 years. Next year, though, I will put it out there. We're going to talk about locks of the week. I'll talk locks of the year. They are 100% finishing above 14 next year.
I've got a better lock for you, and we'll get to that. But I'm going to shift to the next game. Just give you a tease on my lock. Hawthorn beat the Pies. Twilight on a Saturday at the MCG.
Collie wobbles.
Really kind of grim day for the Pies, because Nick Dacos, who's going to win the Brownlow, the only thing that could go wrong was an injury. Gets the injury. Hawthorn, a young, vibrant Hawthorn side that got themselves up for this one, just really popped one on the Collingwood side's beak.
As a coach, do you take anything out of that game as here's the blueprint to beat Collingwood?
Well, I'm glad my Coach Barlow segment, which will come up later, obviously got the hat on.
Yeah,
I should bring in the clipboard next week.
Aaron's carpentry.
Outdoors. We'll refer to that match. All right,
Yep.
Hawthorn and Collingwood, and a little bit of a blueprint.
I like it. We'll push through the rest of the round. The Cats' big win over Port Adelaide, another one to just push them further into that finals chance. You'd have to say the way they're playing, they're looking like they're going to make it at the moment.
I'm not sold on them. I think Cats are the side at the moment that would probably split most opinion.
When does Cam Guthrie come back? Do you know?
Not sure.
Their midfield is the concern. It's younger and it's a bit different. They've no Selwood, no Guthrie. There's probably one more in there.
So Dangerfield's playing, but
Blicker's
what
been out.
Freo did to Geelong the week before was put time into Dangerfield. So it's always the old one, love Tom Atkins in the way he plays, but make a Tom Atkins beat you or make a Tanner Bruin be best on ground and beat you. Because Paddy Dangerfield, given the rope, will beat you. So they had to win that because Port Adelaide, they're in all sorts with their injury and availability. So they got the result they needed.
You know why I hate Geelong? Because when they smacked us in the grand finals, the single worst 3 hours of my life, I had to sit there and listen to my mum tell me what she'd do to Robbie Williams for 20 minutes to start it off, and then bang, straight into the worst defeat in our club's history.
I'm not sure what's worse, the Robbie Williams call or watching 3 hours
Mate,
of that
some
footy.
of the comments that I was getting next to me as a married woman says, you just calm down right there. You just relax. This ticket is still refundable. The game hasn't begun. There's scalpers out front. Anyway, the Battle of the Bridge. Big one. God, we all just... How funny was some of the stuff where they're trying to build up the Battle of the Bridge in the week beforehand? The players like, we just don't care. We don't really care about
And then
the bridge.
the next
the bridge is government owned.
The next sponsored advertisement on Instagram is Isaac Heaney and Toby Green doing like Aussie clinics.
Joint venture together.
But massive win for the Swans because the GWS has been a bit of our bogey side
That
as
hurt
well.
the Giants. That was it. That was and Giants dominated that game, as Coach would allude to. If you looked at the stats, they had way more inside 50s. They had way
Was a
more
bit off
kicks.
Broadway for me.
They dominated all the key performance indicators
KPIs.
as we used to look at.
What was their 450 ground balls, huh?
Sydney wouldn't miss.
Fox footy pressure
Do you
gauge?
remember Sydney early in the year? When they were going, they need to do more goal kicking. They're horrendous in front of goal.
Yeah.
11 straight.
Unbelievable.
Goulden is a freak, by the
Yeah.
way. And if you're defending Goulden, he's left-footed. Get on his left. He just hops onto his left and kicks it from anywhere. Is he your favourite player from the Swans?
Oh, I'm still on the Luke Parker train.
Okay.
In terms of like who am I the future's brightest for? Goulden, yeah,
he
but I'm
is
still
special.
emotionally attached to Luke Parker.
But the Giants play such a good
He's just a workhorse.
And
Just
he-
gets in there.
I think he's say this with all due respect to him. I think he's a real kind of competitor.
Oh, yeah.
He's half a prick. I reckon.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
After the game, he's one of those guys that like would go hard at you in the game, and then after the game, just shake your hand and get on with it.
Yeah,
He
real
is
professional
committed to
operator.
committed
Yeah.
to the Bloods, and will go down as one of their greats in history. And probably has some longevity in his legs still. So
Yeah, I reckon
great
he's still got a couple more years because he's put in some big games this year. North Melbourne and the Demons. Demons flying, North valiant in defeat.
North had a go. They were up by 30 points early. Clarko's first game back.
Yeah.
You thought,
The sugar hit, Tom.
I just thought, yeah.
You got the sugar hit.
It always is the sugar hit, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm using a lot of coaching analogies here. So
Yeah.
Melbourne are going very well. Just
I can't figure out North. North. I can't figure out when North will win again. They might beat Essendon this week, actually. But
There's a couple of good games in 2025.
Let's keep
I've
getting through the
penciled them in.
results, boys. Let's keep getting through the results.
Jesus, Tommy, let the boys have a bit of fun.
Sorry,
will
but
ya?
I just think the next
Melbourne are smoky. They just got to figure out who their forward line,
we're going
what
to
it
talk
looks
about
like.
next week's
Yeah,
games.
yeah, I like it. St Kilda, Carlton, a bit of a scare at the moment. They could have dropped that one there.
Yeah. St Kilda kind of not scoring enough. They 54 points. That's what they're scoring. Roll the eyes there from Tom.
Yeah, and sorry, Tommy, but Freo, Brisbane Lions, I could have absolutely zero interest.
Not many people watched it. Lions got out of jail. Let's just say that.
They did.
Yeah, I was watching Sweden versus USA, the FIFA World Cup at that point.
Yes.
But I'm sure it was a good game
Good
for any of
box.
the... No, I didn't watch this one behind the glass. I was front row though. So yeah. Don't go thinking I'm poor.
A year off TV, the tickets and that, they start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The maths people have got the box at the moment. But speaking of stocks rising.
Stocks rising. Maths.
Married at first sight. Who's going on next? Tommy, Mick, where's it
I'll
going?
kick it off, Tom. Michael Voss, really big patch of form from the Blues. I love what Michael Voss has done. He stood up in a fair bit of adversity. He literally and figuratively rolls up his sleeves. If you watch him on the bench, he always has his sleeves rolled up.
Good pipes to do so.
Love what he's done with some of their players. He's getting the best now out of Zach Fisher, who's come back into the side, a stint in the VFL. I reckon people are looking at that saying, well, that's a big call because he's been a very good player for a while for this club. But it's that what you need is actually that kind of 10 to 20% improvement out of your better individuals to turn the tide. So sent Zach Fisher back to the VFL, came it back in, played really well off half back. So Michael Voss, Zach Fisher, kudos.
Very well done, Mick. You've kind of stolen my one. I was going to say if I'm going to buy a stock,
Should we?
no. I'm going with Carlton Footy Club. Their stocks are rising. I'm enjoying watching them play. The weekend against St Kilda, we know St Kilda's game plan, a lot of pressure and very good pressure early. They limit your scoring. We know Chera's not playing, Walsh is not playing, Mackay's not playing. So once it got tough and they couldn't score, I thought, I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of this and also limit St Kilda's scoring.
Yeah.
Well, they did, and they're just playing more mature footy. What sucks is they can't get that top four but they're going to be hopefully around that 5th or 6th, which they get a home first final. And if they do play a Collingwood or someone like that, or anyone in any Melbourne team, their fans are going to roll in. So it's not going to be like a hostile crowd unless they're on the road. So I'm buying stocks in Carlton, and I have been for a couple of years. You know that. I think I...
Jeez, you must be broke.
I am. I owe a few people Nobu from that game.
Yeah.
When Collingwood beat them last year, I doubled down and they...
Buy high, sell
There's another
low.
game coming up that you could probably Nobu on.
Yes, we probably could. We probably could. So
I'll
that's
throw
my
one in there.
riser.
Before we get to the negatives in stocks plummeting, I've just got to give a shout out to the Eagles fans because they had a fan day, I think it was last week, packed out.
Yeah, they got it, yeah.
It was everyone, face paint, you name it. There's probably a couple of people thought they might be able to get a game if they put on a good enough showing, but unbelievable. Can you imagine after getting drubbed like that and has just been, mismanagement left, right and centre, it seems, over the last couple of years, to still have the fans turn out in force. Like, there's clubs, and I'm not going to give them a whack, but Carlton fans are pretty fickle.
Yep.
If Carlton were going through this, I don't reckon you'd be egged.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, Melbourne fans just don't turn up. The Eagles fans.
I'm not going to give them a whack, but Carlton, Melbourne.
Melbourne won a premiership and then 7 months later, no one was at the MCG. So.
Yeah.
And
So
when COVID had finished.
Yeah, a credit. We got a massive WA lister base as well. So yeah, shout out to the Eagles
that is a big effort from their fans.
Huge.
So huge shout out.
We're going to go into stocks plummeting.
Straight into stocks
Because
plummeting.
it flows from what you're talking about because our WA.
Oh, you're going to whack the Eagles now.
Yeah,
eh?
and I'm whacking WA footy at the moment because both sides, bottom four, it's been a poor year for our sides over in the West. Tom lived over there for 7 years. Still follow the Dockers very closely, but they've had a tough year. Had some very, very inconsistent form, whereas West Coast have just had, they've always kind of been down there. So WA footy's had a tough year, but it'll bounce back quickly.
Yeah, you're right. My plummeting is St Kilda, their offense. I've had enough of watching low-scoring games. I've said it to obviously the game style, it's high pressure, but you've got to adapt. We want them to do well. They haven't won a premiership in God know how long. We're obviously good mates with Zach Dawson. We've heard about all the stories and how close they've gone. But you can't win finals or grand finals, in my opinion, it's not scoring. So it's time to fix the game plan because not only that, it becomes very boring footy because they don't let the other team score.
Mate,
it's hard to watch.
The Sydney Swans won a premiership in 2005, getting up by 6 and chipping the ball around the back line. Demetrio was having conniptions up there trying to...
Back to McVeigh, kicks it back. Leo Barry's got the ball now in the back pocket. They've combined.
If they had time in
45 uncontested marks.
Time in defensive half.
Yeah, so that's my little, if I'm just going to sell a few stocks, I'll be selling them ones.
I'm making a dangerous one. I'm selling pretty much what's equivalent to Apple stock at the moment in Collingwood. Purely just the Dacos injury is huge.
Is it like it's?
I reckon it's massive. I think we're about to see
depth.
a little. They've got depth, but I just think when you've been up for a long time and you've had that premiership tag on you the whole time, you cop a hit on Dacos. I just reckon it has the ability to rattle. Now, I'm going to have egg on my face there because if there's any team you potentially can't rattle, it's the one that continuously comes back from 20 behind.
Who comes in for, you can't replace Nick Dacos, right? But they also had the injury. I think Murphy's going to be okay this week. I heard. No, I think he's playing this week.
Really?
I heard on the. We might have to cut that out if it's wrong.
Well,
but I'm nearly certain.
We wouldn't have a show left if we did that.
Still side bottom. Still side bottom. Yeah. Maybe I was dreaming this, but I nearly am certain they said Murphy playing side bottom out, and who's coming up from below.
I would imagine that someone like Jack Crisp, not below, but his role will change. Like, they've got players that aren't in the, like he can go into the midfield and dominate.
It's not
they've got depth, and then they can bring, like Ginnivan had 29 and 2 in the seconds. He can come in the side, play forward.
When he played Werribee on the weekend, he had 6.
Did he?
2.
Must have been the week before the old baseline footy.
He's been in good form.
He had 29 and 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he got that.
Yeah, then Mick. That's what happens. You can't be up every week. Yeah, well, the system got him.
Aaron's tool shed, just can't stop him down there. I'm just picturing Mick just asleep in his car after a 17-hour shift at Werribee going, Dacos. Oh, who's coming in?
I think they've got depth. They've got heaps of depth.
They've got enough. I'm clutching at straws. I think I just wanted to come at the top 10. It's a bit of Skip Bayless activity from me.
Nice.
My favourite segment coming up, which I think has the potential to turn into the most popular on the show, Coach Barlow.
What do you want to hear, guys? I've brought the footy, and we've already Aaron. It's going
Our sponsors of the show will be stoked.
Tell you what, Aaron's roofing is just getting an absolute run through.
And we would do. I think it's been a bit of a lean time for Aaron, so he's doing outdoor stuff, but he would do roofing. He'll do indoor. He'll do indoor stuff if you need.
Will he edit some clips afterwards?
Yeah,
on Wednesday night? We need some help.
Great stuff. So, Coach Barlow, we're going to have a chat about the Pies, okay, and how they've been got after the last couple of weeks. So, Carlton got them with a bit of an uncontested game, chipping the ball around and keeping the ball off Collingwood. So, keeping it out of chaos. Collingwood love chaos. No, they love ground the ball. They love surge. They love speed. Hawthorn, what they did, and we've got some great overlay, I presume, playing right now, of Hawthorn's ability to just put pressure on the ball. Okay, so the ability to take out players like Quainer, John Noble, Darcy Moore, ball in hand, these guys all year have just been slicing up opposition defence. Hawthorn, they just came forward and pressured these guys like it was nearly kamikaze defending, knowing that if they get through, you're probably going to get scored out the back. But if they didn't get them the first time, they get them the second time, they get them the third time. So kudos to Sam Mitchell, thought he coached really well, made Collingwood have to try and be perfect from kind of D50 to forward 50, which is very, very hard to do.
So you're saying as the coach, you've identified how to stop Collingwood from the back half.
I think Sam Mitchell probably did it better than I could. But
That's the key to success.
Yeah, when I saw it live, right? I was up behind the binocs on, microphone in front. And all we saw was Hawthorn in the retro jumper.
Oh, very nice.
Which was a good retro.
Yeah.
And they were just coming forward. So John Noble, who's a great player off halfback, the first time, you're starting to see deer in headlight stuff or it's coming at me. Whereas I think for a long time, sides have tried to kind of fold back against these sides, against Collingwood.
Okay.
So they just came forward and put that pressure on the front half, kept the ball in their front half. A bloke that they pick up in the mid-year, Hawthorn, whose arms are, my arms aren't very big, but Brandon Ryan, whose arms are like my fingers, kicked three and had a great game.
Ricky Ryan's cousin, isn't it?
Yeah, and a great story. 25 years of age, local footy.
I was wondering whether he was young because I saw him on the weekend and I was like, I didn't really recognise him. And I was like, is he a rookie draftee? Because he looks young.
And where's the 46? I'm hoping he holds on to 46. It's one of those ones that he might get a bit of a wobble about him and go to, 7. I'm not trying to retire anyone who's wearing 7, but great work, Sam Mitchell, Brandon Ryan, and the whole Hawthorn operation on the weekend.
Beautiful.
Well
geez,
done,
mate. Yeah, the problem is with info like that, we're not going to be able to hold on to him for long.
Yeah.
No.
He's going to be up there in the Swans coaches box. I hope.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're playing Geelong this week, so hopefully Simon Lloyd and the boys, Scotty, they might apply the principles Barlow's picked up off.
Collingwood, Geelong. They'll be very trusting of what they do very well, which is actually different to how Hawthorn do it.
Exactly. So
I don't want to bet too kind of X's and O's on you, Felix, but I just did.
Love it. From Coach Barlow to Ace of the Week, Tommy, where are we playing?
Wow, Ace of the Week, new segment brought to you by obviously my friends here.
Oh, it's a new sponsor, is it? RIXX Eyewear.
RIXX Eyewear, yeah.
I haven't seen that on many Ausmerican Aces.
We're a loyal brand. We support what we do around here. This is a segment, Ace of the Week.
Orbits?
They've got the Tribeckers in there.
There's nothing in that box.
Mick can confirm. They put them on for me, Mick. The swing tag's still on there. They're good coaching sunnies.
I was surprised they say made for $40.
Now, this segment, Felix, it's all about the classy performance.
Future's never been so bright.
It's a high quality, someone that's future is bright, someone that sees the game differently, the world differently, and has full integrity with their performance. The winner of the Ace of the Week, brought to you by RIXX Eyewear this week, is Paddy Dow.
Oh, I'm Paddy.
Paddy Dow, congratulations. You've been doing it tough for I don't know how long. I've got some stats here just because I didn't realise how early it was as a draft.
Are you barreling the camera for your segment?
I was barreling it until I realised I forgot if it was pick 1 or 2 or 3.
Bit of me about
He was up to deep midfield, hasn't really cracked in, but played really well in the league.
Hasn't cracked. Mate, we're talking, let me just get, I think he's pick 3. There you go. Yeah, so pick 3, 2017 national draft. Pick 3. Carlton's invested a lot of time and energy into this guy. The last 2 years have been really tough, but he hasn't dropped. He's copped a lot of criticism. Well, even Carlton, why are you holding on to this young guy? Give him another chance. He's put his head down. He's playing in the Scooby-Doos, probably played against you, Mick. He's had 30 every week. He continually knocks on the door. Chera goes down. Walsh goes down. Carlton's season on the line, right? Season on the line. They're playing St Kilda. He stands up. And for him to stand up and kick the goal that put him in front, it was a special moment as a footy fan to watch. So, Paddy Dow, if you're listening, mate, we all love your work. Keep going. You, my friend,
if he wants the,
you, my
the
friend,
RIXX,
are the RIXX Eyewear Ace of the
specials.
Week. We love your work, so keep it up.
Good on you. Yeah, good on you, Paddy. Well said, Tom. Well said. And hopefully you can back it up this week. Who they got? The Blues. They've got the Cats, or the Cats on Friday night. Big
I'm
game.
just quickly
MCG.
writing down Paddy
have
Dow, just in case he has a rough week. I'm going stocks plummeting.
They have Melbourne.
Time cursed him.
They have Melbourne this week.
Wouldn't
just
want to be the ace of the week this week.
Let's just see how the aces of the week go. We'll be sending you a pair of these Rixies, so just make sure you answer your DM when I slide in. But boys, you got to recognise how hard it is when you're playing twos for 2 years. You come in, and this season was on the line, maybe not on the line, but that game, if they win that as they are now, they're sitting fifth on the ladder. It was a big game, so just got to get around the blokes that have been doing it tough for a while. You blokes that get picked every week, maybe not.
I was about to say, Mick probably doesn't know what it's like once he got in the league.
A couple of times.
Yeah, you listened, but you never got dropped. You played every AFL game.
I was going to say, once he got in, he was in best first year player.
They cut you quickly, unlike us. The corner was slowly getting nipped at for years. Anyway, so well done, Paddy. Keep it up, son.
And that's enough rabble out of you two and me a little bit there as well. Time to bring in a special guest. Now, you said during the week that you wanted one from the top team. You wanted a Collingwood player in. And I said, mate, they're losers. They've just fallen. Rome is burning. Let's get one off a team that is hot off the press, absolutely rolling, and you've done some hard work. Who do you reckon we got, Mick?
Well, not Collingwood. They're rolling this side, so Port Adelaide have plummeted. Cats are going okay. Let's go with Jamari Eaglehagen.
Oh, close. Close. It is Western Bulldogs superstar Adam Treloar in the building.
Hey, welcome, brother.
How good. Welcome. And I know we record this in Abbotsford, but you guys really didn't have to dress like the locals to
I did
come through.
I didn't know what to wear.
I've come fresh from the track.
Well, the craziest thing is we actually found a local homeless bloke that looked like Mick Barlow, and we've just rolled him in here, and they sound the same and everything.
No,
It's fantastic.
I actually was thinking, how come you're rocking the shorts? Because we're all rocking the trackies. But no,
Well, I
it's
thought it was a
good.
waist up show. This is the first time on set today, so we're just some teething issues, but it's great to have you in, mate. How
No,
are you tracking?
Yeah, going well. It's crazy that we're up to round 22 now and right in the finals hunt for us, and looking to hopefully keep winning and have a finals campaign.
Must be tough with the Swans breathing down your neck as well, just knowing that they're absolutely rolling at the moment and they're just coming.
After the Giants lost, I was burning.
Well, I think there's a few teams as well as the Swans that are actually right there, and they're obviously playing some good footy. But I was saying earlier to a few guys at the footy club, it's probably the closest season that I've definitely been a part of where there's actually meaningful games right up to the very end of the year, and quite rarely have you've seen seasons like that. So wishing I was in the top four, that would have been nice, having the luxury to have games in your pocket. But we just got to win games.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because like the big spruik in the last month has been about the wild card round, right?
Yeah.
And getting that weekend before the finals filled with some wild card foot. This last month of the AFL season, the Doggies are playing wild card games every week.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. No, it's I did see that, and it would be pretty interesting if that were to actually be a thing that was going to come to fruition in the next couple of years. But you're right. Every game for us is that going forward, and so this week's against Hawthorn. Their best is as good as anyone, I believe, and they're one of the best midfield groups going around, and they're a top 2 centre bounce team. Got a great ruckman, great young core of midfielders, and I believe they're actually the youngest team on the weekend who beat the oldest team on the weekend in Collingwood. So, we've just got to win.
16th though, ads. Come on. I'm out now, Tommy. You're the same.
right.
We're out of the AFL long enough.
They just beat number 1 though.
He's just talked to the media manager at the Doggies. He said, right, won the Hawks. You got to drum them right up, which I do agree. I did the Hawks game live, do a bit of rate, and called them live, and they looked good.
Congrats,
They,
mate. Absolutely.
it's a
Tell
bit
us
of
what else you do with
freelance
yourself on this family.
weekend. But
He's the coach. What is it, coach or
are-
commentator?
I reckon they bounce within the year to play finals, the Hawks. So I'm a believer.
So is it going to be a tough game then, Mick?
We will, yeah. You kind of summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, you're also the first person to ever go through a chat like that without saying, we're taking it 1 week at a time. The cliche radar was going off there.
It
but
is
we
the
missed
cliche answer, but I genuinely believe
Oh,
it.
it
I
is.
mean, we can't look too far ahead, and we've had chances where we've actually been in positions to, I guess, get games on teams below us, but we just haven't been able to do that. So we don't have the luxury to look far ahead. So as you said, Hawthorn may be 16th, but they're definitely not playing like they're a 16th team, and the brand they're playing is really good. So we've got to be up to
You're
it.
going to
Tassie.
Tassie.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's in Tassie.
Oh, that's a tough one as well.
They play really well in
Yeah.
Tassie.
Oh,
They've been some really good sides over there, and I think back to games where they beat Brisbane last year over there when they were top 2 side, and have matched up against really good sides. So
you have grounds, right?
I was just thinking.
You have grounds as a past player that you have just the worst memories of. And Launceston for me. Launceston is far and away. The rest of the ground is like great, love them. But Launceston, the memories there, bleak.
I would even expand that to general Launceston as well. Just move that well beyond the ground and just do that. Well, the reception that Sicily will cop over there in Tasmania, because he gave him an almighty whack.
Oh, and you haven't
in the media.
eating the pies. They might have forgiven him by now.
Well, I'm interested with this. Is kind of not to do with the game at all, but do you catch the same flight home? Because that's happened before, I reckon.
I reckon we
with the
will,
two
yeah.
clubs.
Yep. Last year we did, but that was, I think that was planned because we were, I guess, kind of planning that we weren't going to make finals because we actually weren't until Carlton beat Collingwood. Collingwood beat Carlton in that last game. So, yeah, we'd planned to fly together. So we did, obviously, last year, but I don't know about this year. Don't know. Probably will.
On that note, as someone who's shock horror never played an AFL game, when you go through the airport and you're both getting on the same flight, they're sitting at 16th, lowly, boo. You guys are rolling, top 8.
But they're good to square bounce.
Yeah.
Top 2.
That is true. They're probably yelling that at the airport. Do they walk through with like their head held down and like, oh God, there's the Bulldogs boys? And then you guys sort of like, your chest pumping, walking around?
No, not really. We don't really have a right to do that.
Well, maybe you're too humble.
Maybe Baz or someone might be doing it, or Naughty. Actually, probably Aaron Norton. But
Big Naughty just
it was a bit unique during the COVID year, 2021, my first year at the Bulldogs. We played the Bombers in the elimination final. So obviously the season was played out in Melbourne and whatnot, but we just didn't have a crowd. But then they obviously moved the final series to interstate venues. We played the Bombers in Tassie on the Sunday, I think and we flew the Saturday night together on a private chartered plane. So that was quite unique. Yeah. And we were sitting, so we weren't sharing the rows. It would be one row Bulldogs, one row Essendon.
I think I saw a photo.
And then we'd just be sitting across from each other.
A photo of that went viral.
Yeah. So that was quite unique. But no, I don't think there's many people bumping their chest.
Yeah, we didn't quite travel chartered in the NBL from memory.
NBL 1, was it?
Jetstar, mate, the NBL 1, they walk there.
Ads, I want to ask you a serious question. How do you find so much ball? I was having actually my first game back from Europe. I was watching Friday night last week, and you hadn't touched it, right? And I'm going, like, Ads is having a stinker in my head. I'm going, first game I've watched, and my boy's having a stinker. He had 21 at half time. He had fucking 15 in the second.
Yeah, Mick was great at finding the footy himself. So
how do you boys do that? 15 in the quarter.
Left out there.
15 in the goal for me is my whole game. How are you finding 15 disposals in the second quarter? Like, what? Honestly, is it just contest? Is it a bit of what is it? Give us a tip.
I think definitely contest is something that I pride myself on. But I spoke to you, just off air and on the phone. Actually, spoke about how I like to find myself into the game a little bit and kind of let it happen in front of me. And I think that comes with age. I, when you play Mick, and obviously you do as well, Tommy. But start of a game, there's always your energy. Everyone's up and about. Everyone's just going crazy.
Like ping pong, bang,
I've
bang,
never
bang.
really been that kind of player. I kind of get that nervous energy. I've always kind of not sat back, but I don't have that ping pong ballistic energy. And I think once that kind of settles and 10-minute mark, 15-minute mark comes down, then I'll just have an ability to be in the right place at the right time.
Last 10 minutes, you're really cashing in. That's a really good answer, because there's certain players that are ballistic and early on in the game and just evolve. But I used to see it as like, it's just staying in the game. If you can get to quarter time and kind of be, 0-all in your own individual performance, then you explode. But then,
so you're trying to tell us you were 100% focused on your own individual performance.
Correct. That was going to be my follow-up question to Adam. Was how often, because I used to do it a little bit, is quarter time you'd think, I'm going pretty good here. And you look up and you're like, they do the leading stack getters.
There's a lot of Mick Barlow about this Adam Treloar interview.
You look up, don't you?
Oh, yeah, no, you always do. They do. When I was much more when I was younger, clearly, but I'll easily say that I'll never look at stats post game. I haven't done that in probably 2-3 seasons, because I always found early days I found myself getting caught up a lot in it, which isn't a good thing. But you do look up, and then when you're not going well and you look up there and you may see like a player comparison, and maybe you versus Tim Taranto on the weekend, he's had 20 and I've had 4. You're like, oh no, this sucks. But no, you do look up and sometimes see you're up there. When you're going well, when you're not going well. But I try and not look at stats as much as possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, you boys wouldn't understand what it's like to, you're on the ground for 15 minutes and you don't touch the footy, then you get your 7-minute spell and you haven't touched it at a quarter
And you
time.
get a handball and you give it to the opposition and knock your team out of finals.
Yeah, drop mark. Yeah, that's another story.
I just love how we've been talking about ads here, and you've already dropped. You've just got back from Europe. You got a Plus Radio gig. But I do want. There's a rumor floating around, and I think it's
No, don't go with that one.
It's a tough one. Oh yeah, no, not that one. But you got that cleared. You got that cleared up pretty quick. Beat the allegations. So obviously Bevo, Tom Morris gives him a bit of a yap. Tomo conveniently gone. A couple of weeks later, Tom Brown now out the door, off to a cushy corporate gig off the funny farm. Bevo just continuing his journo chop. Who's next?
Oh, yeah, it's a good one because it actually has happened. There's two journos that have been out the door. I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe
David Zeta's pretty yappy about the tribunal on Twitter. I reckon
I think you just can't get Bevo obviously on a bad day. And when you get him on a bad day, he's very, very scary. But he's a very loving man. He's a very, very loving man. Outside of the bad day, he's a very loving man.
Elaborate on that a little bit more. So loving but scary, because I don't know him at all, but the perception is the chest and the walk.
He's a big unit, isn't he?
Yeah,
he looks unflappable.
Loves a rower.
Throws tin round as well in the gym.
No, I actually don't see him do too much gym.
Just
but
naturally big.
Yeah, he's always on the rower. He's always doing a cardio exercise real early. But
Screams like someone on
swimmer,
testosterone.
surfer.
Oh, he's on the rower, is he?
Swims and surfs as well. So maybe that gives him big biceps. But
the rower would be tough. That's a man that goes hard.
Rowers
respect that.
It is. It's like your harder choice. It's like you walk in, you've got the spin bike. Which is on top. The spin bike.
The elliptical's not bad.
The elliptical.
That's easy.
Yeah.
It's like ski erg. That's the hardest
That's
one.
all upper body.
Ski erg.
The Versaclimber.
Yeah, that's easy.
LeBron James, the Versaclimber.
Gary Ablett used to love the Versaclimber.
Did he?
He used to go in and do the extras
They're
on the
easy, man.
Versaclimber.
Junior or senior? Did they have? What was senior doing back in the day?
Senior wasn't around the place at that point. But
The rower is the fifth. That's the hardest choice in the gym. Out of
And
all
the
the
grind.
cardio.
The grinder's pretty bad
Yeah,
too.
but that's all upper body. The rower's legs, arms, full body, and
I want to
cardio.
talk legs and full body, actually, with Ads while we've got him. Because I know we've got a hard out with him.
Yeah, we do. He's
Yeah,
got to
so-
be somewhere soon. He's got to prepare for this week.
Yes.
My mind for you, Adam, rolls all the way back. You've had some highlights in your career, been a great player for a long time, been in some great teams, some great individual performances. But the day you did the double hammy was one that sticks in my mind when you full-blown tore both hamstrings in the two strides.
I did. Yeah. That was, thanks for bringing that up. That was a good one. No, but I commonly get asked this. That was
remarkable.
It's funny because the physios at Collingwood at the time said for a good 2 years they were doing hamstring seminars, with physios around the world on my specific injuries. So that was pretty cool to be a part of that. But it was
Any commission out of
no commission at all. But,
Lucky you were to put Adelaide, they would have sent you back out there. That was a comment made by Felix Von Hofe, endorsed by Felix Von Hofe, and no one else.
but no, it was a genuine 24-month injury on the actual left side. So what happened is I was running, so I got the GPS in, and I was going about 33 k's an hour, which is probably my max.
Yeah, quick.
And I'd been pushed off balance just the slightest, and I tried to catch myself. And trying to catch myself, my left leg planted first, and my knee completely locked out. So all the just power went through the hamstring. Bang, ripped that hamstring tendon in half, and then the right one tried to catch that and plant it, but that one was just a grade 3 hammy. Right. So did both the hammies, and I wasn't meant to play 10 weeks or the finals, and I played 10 weeks later.
What did the next 24 hours look like?
Oh, unbelievable, mate. I remember we State of Origin that night. I remember that's how I remember it. And I wanted to watch it so bad, but I was in so much pain. I couldn't sit on a chair because the pain was right up pretty much where your hamstrings meet your ass. And I had to sit on the chair just like this because I couldn't put weight on it. And it was, mate, it was unbelievable. Walking in to the doctors, I just had this waddle on me. And
I've been like that after the chicken masala sometimes. A big night, not quite as athletic, but certainly I know the pain room that you're in.
Yes.
That is it. So did you walk off the ground?
Yeah, I tried to get back out and play. I thought it was a cramp.
What year was that? Was that grand final?
2018, yeah. Yep. I thought it was a cramp.
I reckon I remember some reasons, like you remember where you are in certain moments. It was Queen's birthday?
No, we played Carlton, but it was a one-off game on that day.
And he was
it was a one-off day.
We'll cut that out, I reckon.
When you put a basketball up, it just doesn't even hit the ring or the backboard or
I pride myself on remembering where I was when certain things happened. I'll retract that comment.
Coach.
No. It was a one-off day, and it was crazy, mate. The fact that I'd done it, and then 48 hours later I was having surgery, and actually, matter of fact, I think the right hamstring. We had like 4 hammies that year, and the good hamstring was still the worst hamstring for the club. So it was worse than what the other boys had done. That's how bad I did it. So
you say you had 4 hammies. Did you count for 2 of them? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a tough one on a soft tissue bloke. He's going, 2 of them were on one player.
As he's getting his marching orders.
What about when you snapped the leg? Did you, not to bring up traumatic past injuries, but did you get up and do you think it was a cramp?
I got up.
He did
I
get
got
up.
up. Yeah, but I just heard, I was in a bit of shock, I think. Is the way I would describe it. I thought it was a bit of, in my head, I thought, no, that's not what I've done. And I got up and quickly I thought, that's what I've done.
No. 2 hammies. Has anyone else done 2 hammies
No.
before?
So they commonly find it in downhill skiers. So obviously when they're losing balance snowing or skiing, they obviously try and plant, cut and land, and the hammy's gone. So it was never been seen before in the footy.
I try to cap it to like 32 k's an hour and remove any of that sort of risk. 33, you're pushing it.
What do they have GPS when you're playing ball?
Yeah.
What do you get?
They just chucked an Apple Watch on me and said, run out there, you idiot. We're not wasting good tech on you.
That is, and what was the recovery time after all of that? I haven't asked you before.
So 10 weeks later, I got back, and that was for the finals. So
That's a great effort.
Yeah, I was only running at about 26 k's an hour, which is not that quick.
When you got back?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you were there, but you're still like 80%.
Mate, I was nowhere near my nowhere near my best. As I said, it was a 24-month injury. Like the following year, I didn't miss a game the following year, but I was playing at 3/4 my capacity in terms of physically how I could play. So it took a good 2 years to get back to my speed.
What's your speed now at, if you don't mind sharing?
No, I reckon I can hit I hit 32. I've hit 32 this year, but you don't often get it in games. You only really get it maybe when you're, as a winger, you probably would know, when you're sliding fat side trying to cover.
Mixed man's out again. Go see him out. You boys get all the stats. I'll see your man out after the game. I'll go back to the waffle and just tell the coach, mate, you didn't really impact the game, but what about all the blokes I saw out? No, we don't really care about that, do we?
Well, that's probably the only times you really get it, and that's probably when I got it this year.
Yeah, outside. So. Yeah, you're inside.
I love when you get this info, because now I'm going to be watching. I'm going to see some little graphic going, and how's this? How's Treloar at 34 Ks? I'm like, he did it. He did it. I said he couldn't do it. Look at him go.
I've got to ask you, we've got the famous A here with ads and dunks, and they've been talking about kicking goals all year, and the boys have kicked a fair few. You kicked a fair few, but it was more about dunks, and then we said, ads, it's your time to do the A celebration. It goes out in the weekend after. The next weekend goes out, kicks a goal, doesn't do it. So all the ads and dunks fans are filthy. He comes on, does a podcast, promises the world he'll do it again, kicks a goal, set shot, cracker. I was in Europe, I saw the replay. He doesn't do it again, but he's that good of a player. He's had 34, kick 2, does it after the second one.
I did it. I knew I was going to kick another goal, so I waited.
Honestly, like what was going through your head when you didn't do it again? Were you thinking like after that, like 10 minutes later, oh shit, I've let everyone down again?
Yeah, well, so obviously the fans have been hammering us. Dunks didn't do it the first time, so he'd promised, kick the goal, didn't do it.
Looked really awkward when he did it.
He's running like this.
He's stolen some cookies.
Some sort of gang sign. What's going on?
Well, that's the celebration. So A for Ausmerican Aces, obviously, the jumper Tommy's got on. But when the second time, when I had my first opportunity to do it, I just forgot, totally forgot. And when I walked back to centre bounce, I was like, oh no, I forgot maybe the camera's still on me. I might just walk to the centre bounce.
Get a handball.
Maybe that's the next one. Try to sneak it into a handball. So Bevo would love that if he's in the middle of a game.
Yeah, he'd love it. Yeah,
it's pretty cool though, because one of obviously Jamara Ugelhagen's been kicking a lot of goals, and we've got a lot of fans. Obviously, Ausmerican Aces channel. They've always asked us to do it and get your teammates to do it. We had a clinic on Saturday, and all the kids were asking Jamara to do it. So I asked him to do the Ausmerican Aces celebration. I said, mate, you've got to do it. And he said he's going to do it. So there we go. There's an unofficial promise, but hopefully he does.
Be careful, Tommy will have him and another bloke doing a podcast in a minute. He'll join the stable. I'll tell you, hey, Jamara's been playing some good footy though.
He has,
and he looks like he's in a good relationship. He's in a good spot, and he's just really focusing in on that footy and just doing really well.
He's got such a good mark. He's strong in the air, isn't he?
Well, that's always been his biggest strength, and he'd always shown that the past 2 seasons prior, and he just really hasn't had a proper run at it. And I think that the fact that he's grown into his body a little bit more, he's a little bit more stronger upper body wise, he can hold his ground a little bit more. And I think with Naughty and then Lobby, when Lobby's playing really well, he takes a real dangerous defender. So if Mara's not getting the number 1 defender, it gives him a good opportunity to, take good grabs, and that's what he's been doing. And he's a real barometer for us, and he's been playing really well.
It's always fairly unrealistic when a number one draft pick comes in as a key forward, and everyone says, he should be this within 10 weeks, and that was certainly the case. Bevo was never playing him, and very much has been validated with how he's held him back to the pack. I think there was some spruik that he might go to another club and all that. Tough one for Bevo, but it's all been validated. So Bevo, congrats. And I think Jamar is a Bulldog for life. I don't think he's going anywhere. Very marketable and going well.
You'd hope so. Now, just talking on that, because, I went on reality TV and made an ass of myself and got absolutely roasted accordingly. So I deserved what I was getting. But some of these guys, with your move from Collingwood to the Bulldogs, copping it just for absolutely no reason. Now, if you go on TV and make a dick yourself, you cop it, you're like, I did it. I can't really complain. But I can't imagine copping it when it's made up rumours, it's this sort of stuff. And someone like Jamar who's coming into
source.
Per source, that sort of stuff. The stuff that this podcast will most likely push out continuously over the next 8 weeks. But what's it like dealing with that and not being able to fight back? Because you say something, you look like an idiot.
Yeah, well, it is challenging at times, but you kind of know that's what comes with playing AFL and, being a part of a big footy club. And that obviously happened quite a bit with me moving from Collingwood to the Bulldogs. But I think largely 90% of it was pretty positive. I mean, you get a few fans that don't really understand what happened or the intricacies of, things around it and how it panned out. But, yeah, largely it's been, well supported. And, I do remember my first game against the Pies where my first touch was, early in the game, and I actually got half the crowd booing and half the crowd cheering.
That's where you want to be, polarising.
I feel like they just didn't know what to do.
You also want to be getting a touch early in the game. What I picked up from.
True. I wouldn't get booed because I wouldn't touch it. Yeah, but it kind of comes with it. And it's pretty unique now because I still get, 3 years later, I still get that many Collingwood fans at the shops or wherever it may be, come up and sign autographs or take photos. Yeah. So it's pretty funny because, I've been at 3 clubs now, so don't plan to go anywhere else. So
would you ever make a burner account on Twitter?
Nah, well, KD is my favourite basketball player, so I know he's had quite a few burner accounts.
I made one. I was going hard, and then I was like, wait, someone looks at this account. It was made when the show premiered, and it's been non-stop in defence of one bloke.
A burner account. Does anyone have a burner account that at the club? Don't name them.
I know that. Yeah, keep it completely anonymous because you're about to rat out all your friends. I know.
I actually think someone does. I actually genuinely think someone does. I swear I came up in convo the other week when we were in the change room, but I can't recall who it was. But I reckon someone does. I'm going to go out on a limb and say someone does. Yes,
that's great.
We got a snake in the grass. Well, I'll tell you what, you've been absolutely fantastic here. Boys, any last words?
Is this how you're wrapping it up, is it?
Yeah.
I've started to butcher the wrap up.
What have we covered? Gets a lot of the ball, double hammy, 3 clubs, Ausmerican Aces, we got that plug. Gets a lot of plugs.
Yeah, it's
Bevo war against Journos.
Bevo, didn't ask about Bevo's broken hand. I still think he probably was angry. He said he wasn't. We won't ask ads because he probably, a bit diplomatic on it. I think you've done well. That's well done.
Very well. Mate. So what are we rating first guest?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 out of 10. We'll do it.
Thanks for having me. When Tommy called up, he said, I want you to be the first guest.
I'd love to see his phone log of where he went.
What number I was, where I was, which Bulldog player I was.
God, my mum bloody got a call at one point. It's just going non-stop. But I hope it was about the podcast guest. No, but anyway, thanks, Ads.
Good on you. Brilliant. Thanks, mate. All the best the rest of the year.
All right, round 22. Let's tip through it. We're going to go rapid fire. Collingwood Cats, Friday night.
Pies just.
I'm going to go with the Cats.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Is that our first Aces head-to-head?
Yes,
love it. We're on MCG, can't we?
And we're going to keep track of this. This is that little tipping competition internally. And Aces, if you're listening, we want to know what a punishment would be for last place. Now, nothing silly. We've got coaches that'll be playing finals. He can't shave his head, dye his hair, all that kind of stuff. No eyebrows.
He can shave his head. He's coaching.
It's
almost shaved already.
I don't want to shave my head, so we don't do that one. Got a pinhead. But a punishment would be good. Let's see who can win this competition.
Oh, good luck, Tom.
And who can lose. So obviously,
you got to line up at the pocket for Werribee. Saturday, North Melbourne versus the Dons.
Let's go the Bombers just. I think North will scare them.
I think the Dons as well. They'll get a bit of a wake-up call from last week.
I reckon I agree. The mighty Sydney Swans taking on the Gold Coast Suns.
Swans easy.
Danger game. We'll take the Swans, but I reckon the Suns will fire up.
Yeah, it'll be another close one, similar to GWS, I reckon. Brisbane Lions, Adelaide Crows.
Now, Lions easy at the Gabba. They'll just go well.
Easy against the Crows.
Yeah, easy.
I'm going to go with Brisbane, but not easy. I think just.
Match of the round for me, Carlton, Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
D's.
Yeah, I reckon the D's.
It hurts me to say the Ds. I'm going to go the Ds just due to the depth. And it's a top four.
People are kind of sleeping on the D's. With
They are sleeping in. Do you know, fun fact, guess how many the Ds have won in a row?
I'm going to go 5.
5. So
Well, that's a real fun fact.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. It would have been fun if Mick didn't know the E's been wrong all night.
Real rip snorter of a fact there, mate.
Hey, that was one of those stocks I was thinking about buying. Maybe next week I'll be buying more Melbourne
Battle
stock.
of Bundaberg, West Coast versus Freo.
Bundaberg. It's
go
more
with the Dockers.
EMU export, isn't it?
Yeah, Dockers, dangerous though. Eagles win, they don't have top draft pick, and they're playing to win. So in these games, they play to win, but the Dockers will sneak home.
Yes, they will. Dockers will 100% win.
Hawks and the Doggies.
In Launceston, I'm going to tip the Dogs. Hawks have had their up. I think they'll just dip.
We got to cheer on our boy, Adzi Treloar. I'm going with the Dogs. Big game for them.
Yep, I'm tipping terrible weather and the boys not to be able to find a bar after the game. St Kilda and Richmond.
Saints.
St Kilda, Richmond. I think the Tigers. I think the Tigers will win this game.
And to round it out, another crack up, Port Adelaide and GWS.
Yeah, this is a good game. I'm all in on the Giants at the moment.
I reckon they're good. I reckon there was an aberration against the Swans. I expected to lose that.
They have to win this one. I'm going to go with the Giants. They've won 8 of the last 10 and they're playing a great brand. So until they play a poor brand, I'm going with the Giants.
Playing well. Like you got to remember the way that the Swans kicked 11 straight. Like we snuck out with that win. So I'm not reading too much into that one.
That's a big game for the Giants.
Huge.
Big.
Locks of the week.
Lock, alluded to it a little bit there. Brisbane beating Adelaide, I think, is just
So you're going to go with the lock of the week he's going to be Brisbane.
Brisbane beat Adelaide at the Gabba.
Nice.
You know, Brisbane, I reckon they were very rusty. So having a close win like that, they can review that like a loss and really spark their season.
Okay. My lock of the week is the Fremantle Dockers against West Coast in the Derby. As you
Can
said,
you be a medalist?
Who wins Caleb Sarong's form. It's going to be Caleb Sarong, who have 32 disposals and kick a goal.
Well done.
Love it, boys. Well, that's all we got time for. Mick, where are we? Where are you at this week?
Where are we? We got the bye. So I'm actually I'm off to Gumbauer to watch Colburn Abbott play Gumbauer
Spare
Leachville.
tickets for me and Felix. I think
What about I got a Bucks party, a mate I went to school with.
Yeah, spare tickets for that?
It's at the Gumbauer Bucks parties nowadays. You get $250 to go to all these. $40 for a night's accommodation and some cans at the footy.
Hang on a second. $40. Are you sure you want to rock up to this one?
I'm looking forward to it. Petrol's going to cost $400 to get there.
The wedding at the caravan park will be equally as exciting. Tommy,
Is that the cheapest bucks has anyone ever heard of? $40.
It costs $10 to get in.
I know you don't like talking about Europe, but it costs bloody $40. It costs $40 for one drink in Mykonos.
yacht week. How many times are we going to hear it? What are you going to be doing, Tommy, that you can legally tell us?
Probably cutting up this show and just working out what I'm doing next week, mate. I'm still jet lagged, but there's, just get some
It's a
sleep.
week-to-week proposition now, man.
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, Felix. What are you doing, mate?
No, I can't legally say. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Please watch and subscribe on the Ausmerican Aces YouTube channel. And, a really cool feature that we've got this year is we've actually attached a shot collar to Tommy. So every time you hit that subscribe button, bang. I'm not going to tell you where it's located either, but it's going to be a painful experience for our man. So watch, comment, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at RIXX. RIXX is an Australian lifestyle brand founded with a mission to transform the eyewear industry by creating carefully crafted eyewear that inspires confidence. Everybody should be able to enjoy a touch of luxury and the confidence it brings. See the world differently today. Head online now at rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Confused about what markets to include in your Neds Same Game Multi? Or is the game about to kick off? With Neds' popular Same Game Multi, see what bets are trending with like-minded punters and simply add it straight to your bet slip within the app. Think it needs more? You can customise or add more legs for bigger odds quickly and easily within the Neds app, so you can take it to the Neds level. Take it to the Neds level. Download the Neds app now and look out for the popular Same Game Multi tab. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.